Star Wars only, I don't know what the fuck your problem is.
Star Wars fans have been speculating on when the trailer for The Rise of Skywalker will come out. There's been some reports that it's going to come out tonight on October 14th, and other reports are saying that it's going to come out on October 21st. We don't know, but one thing we do know right now is that there are theaters that are nationwide that are getting a tentative runtime of 2 hours and 35 minutes for The Rise of Skywalker. That's not confirmed. It could be cut a little bit. They could add on a little more. We don't know. But if it is 2 hours and 35 minutes, that is the longest Star Wars movie to date, and that is 3 minutes longer than, what's the last one? The Last Jedi? That was the longest Star Wars movie up until this point. Now, I'm not a big fan of long Star Wars movies. I have said in the past, even when The Last Jedi runtime was announced, I said this isn't a good sign because normally the longer a Star Wars film goes, the worse it gets, and my case in point at the time in 2017 was Attack of the Clones. Now in 2019, my case in point is Attack of the Clones and The Last Jedi. I think both of those are not the greatest films, and they both definitely drag on. Even if you like The Last Jedi, most people would say there's some scenes in there that aren't necessary, and it does feel like a very long film. Well, now it seems like The Rise of Skywalker is going to be the longest Star Wars film to date, and I caution against that. I always caution against long Star Wars movies. I think 2 hours and 10 minutes is basically the perfect runtime of a Star Wars movie, but with this one it makes a little more sense that it's going to be the longest one. It's almost like it has to be the longest one. There's so much ground to cover. J.J. Abrams has said, and I like this saying, that this film has to stand on its own, but it also has to tie in all other 8 films in the Star Wars saga. That is a very tall order, and that's not something you can do, I think, in a small 2-hour time frame. I just hope we don't have any filler and we don't have any bad subplots. I really think The Last Jedi's subplot of the Canto Bight, to me and a lot of the critics of The Last Jedi, we think that it was a completely unnecessary scene and part of the movie that really could have taken down the runtime of it a lot more. And I think we shouldn't repeat history with The Rise of Skywalker. I'm hoping that there's not some subplot to the story that really isn't a necessity in the story. It's just kind of there to be there. Hopefully we don't have that. Hopefully all 2 hours and 35 minutes of this film are actually dedicated to plot, no filler, nothing that's a wasted scene or anything. It's something that we can all enjoy and love. This is going to be a very, very interesting movie to see how it goes. It's going to be the longest Star Wars film of the day. It's the last one in the episodic saga of the Skywalker saga. It's supposed to stand on its own, which is great, but it's also supposed to tie in all other 8 films. And that's where I'm really interested in, because you have to not only say how Palpatine is coming back and conclude the battle between the light side and the dark side with Rey and Kylo Ren. You also have to do the Resistance versus the First Order, and then you also have to tie in the other 8 films, which you can say that, but doing it is a whole different thing. And I really don't know how they're going to tie in the other 8 films. Like, how is the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones going to be referenced or used in this film? I really don't know. I mean, no one knows. I mean, of course we don't. We haven't seen the film, but there's a lot to be done in this film. So it makes sense that 2 hours and 35 minutes would be the runtime. But then again, like I say, my case in points are Attack of the Clones and The Last Jedi are the longest Star Wars films that we've had prior to this, and they're not the cream of the crop. I think Star Wars is at its best when it's a nice 2-hour runtime and you just have a nice little fun adventure. But this is a whole different thing, and I don't know how they're going to pull it off. But tell me your thoughts. What do you think about a 2-hour and 35-minute runtime for The Rise of Skywalker? It's not confirmed, it's not official, but it is what the insider sources at these theaters are getting all across the nation, and it's probably going to be around the exact same time frame of what it's going to be. That's probably going to be the best guesstimate you can get. So tell me your thoughts below. I'm Star Wars Only. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see y'all next time, and may the Force be with you always.